Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Zach. Behind me is my van Gertie, which has been my dog and I's home for the past 2 years. You find us just starting to head up into the crazy mountains of Montana, and it's time to get going. So let's go.
Test. Give me your worst and you'll get my best. 'Cause I don't know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. Careful, I'm a lion, don't test my pride. Standing like a mountain, looking the devil right in his eyes.
Come on. Go, 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 go. Hello, good afternoon. I hope you are doing well. You find us here hiking through the crazy mountains. We are trying to get to the top of this little hill here to see if there's a good view. It's looking promising other than the trees, but maybe we'll get a good glimpse through the trees and get to enjoy some fruits from this hike. Crazy Mountains are called the Crazy Mountains because of a tale of a woman who lived up here with her family. They were subsequently killed either by some natives who didn't like them living on their land, or by a bear who was hungry and potentially didn't like them living on their land. And because her family was killed, she went crazy. And the mountains were then named after her as the Crazy Mountains. Locally, people just call them the Crazies. And people have been coming up here ever since they've lived in this area. I've been coming up here since I think I was about 14, so 20 years now I've been coming up to the Crazy Mountains. I've been absent for a long time because I was in the Navy and I lived in Washington and all over the place. And so I haven't really had a lot of time to explore the Crazies as an adult. That was weird. My dad and I used to come up here as one of the few things we did together. And we would cut wood. We get about 6 to 8 cords a year, not quarts. And those cords would keep our house warm all winter. We were fully wood stoved, and I was one of the main stokers of that fire. Now the area that we used to get our wood out of is fully torched, so it's not really all that pretty, but it is still there and still holds a lot of memories. I am actually following what looks like an old logging road at the moment, so we're going to follow this and see if we can find something interesting. As far as I know, all or most logging operations ceased in the Crazies in 1961. And since then, they've just been wild for the most part, with a little bit of mining on the southern side, and generally privately owned for the most part. Where I'm at now is kind of a huge valley area, and the majority of that area is, or a good chunk of that area is privately owned. So the Crazies are actually fairly difficult to get into compared to other mountain ranges. There's like 3 access roads that I know of, and probably a few other smaller ones, but the main ones that go to campgrounds are on the kind of northwest corner, which is where I'm at, the south east corner, and the kind of north corner as well. There's an access point. Crazies are actually a volcanic set of mountains as part of the Rocky Mountains. And they're definitely one of my favorites to visit. Well, fire definitely came through here. Pretty hot. And it looks like there might be a small creek down at the bottom of this. Let's see if we can get the dog wet. The dog likes to get wet. Winnie, come. Hey, pretty girl. All right, look at this valley, beautiful. All right, she's on the water. I just got a spider on me, I'm sure of it. Hi, Winnie. So we're trying to figure out our way to at least one good view, and that'll give me the opportunity to figure out exactly where we're at, and then I can start planning the route back. Seem to have found this nice little valley, but unfortunately I don't really want to stay in a valley right now. I keep hearing thunder, and there's no place more dangerous for a thunderstorm for a single person than in the middle of the mountains alone, I think. Especially with these unreliable trees. So let's get to the top and then check in. The little hill that I just climbed brings me up out of that valley, but unfortunately it's basically just a hill with two little creek valleys going down towards it. So it kind of hems me up a little bit unless I want to drop back down again. We just reached another creek river, and this area is just absolutely completely burned. My white dog is definitely covered in black marks from rubbing up against it. Now I was going to take a little bit more conservative route up to the top here. You can let's see if I can get the aim right. You can go up to the top of this, and then it's the same level as I am now. Winter just went down to the bottom because she's got way too much energy. She's like right down there somewhere, and I guess I'm going to follow her because I don't want to make her come all the way back up here just to go all the way back that way. But you ever go and do something and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done this today this way or in these conditions or whatever. Right now I'm starting to get a little concerned because as I've said in previous videos, I think my Nevada hike was it. Once you start hopping ridges, you're really playing with fire because going up and down, basically every time you come up, everything around you is completely different. So you have to reanalyze. So you can't really afford to look down or just talk to the camera and not pay attention. So right now I'm trying to plan a route across this little stream that doesn't involve me getting my shoes wet. I'm not a huge fan of hiking with wet shoes, but these are waterproof, but they're only ankle high. About 8 it there. Beautiful little creeks. So this log I'm on, about 6 feet in the air, is very thoroughly burned. There we go. So this log I'm on, which is very thoroughly burned, is my secret route across this creek, but I think it's probably a bad idea. But it's holding so far. Okay, so now we're balanced on a root complex from a giant tree that fell. And there's also another giant tree right in front of me. And the log that I'm standing on now actually broke when it landed here. So if I go any further, it's actually a completely different log. And down there is a bunch of mud. So what I think I'm going to do is just jump down into the mud here and then get out. So hang on, folks. This is... see if we can get this in a good spot. So hang on, folks. This is about a 6-foot jump into a couple inches of really wet mud. Oh, all right, we're good. Winnie's looking at me like, what took you so long? All right, so back up this ridge, and then we reassess and see where we're at. Okay, so we are free of the burned forest, and now we're essentially in a clear-cut field. There's stumps all around me. This is where the forest didn't grow back, it looks like. But the good news is I can see the big mountains off behind me there. You can see the big mountains over there. See the giant thunderstorm forming back behind me here. And I can hear all the thunder that's being struck in the mountains here. We're just heading for another ridgeline, and then we'll probably start planning our route back down. It's getting towards 3 in the afternoon here, and around 3 in the afternoon in the mountains is usually the time to get out of the mountains. Looks like a good cattle trail here. Oh look, and an old road. So maybe we will follow this road down and see where it brings us to. But before that, I'm going to get to the top of this ridge and try and see the view that's up there. Come on, let's go. Come on, Winnie. Let's go. All right, well, we made it up here. It wasn't really a ridge, it was just a big, flat, open field full of grass. But it's beautiful. I got the big peaks of the Crazies over here. I got the more northern end of the Crazies over here. Looks like the thunderstorm is staying to the north of us and heading east, so we're pretty good. We just found this road here that is obviously being used currently, probably for cattle, picking up cattle, checking on cattle, whatever. But we're going to follow it up here a little ways and see what we find. If we don't find anything, then we'll turn around and probably just follow this road down to the main road, which I'm sure this goes down to. Famous last words, but I have pretty good information that points me in that direction. And then we'll just walk the road back to where we're camped instead of diving into the woods and hoping that we'll get lucky and find our way back properly. So we'll pick you up in a little bit when we find something cool or just want to talk to you again. All right, so we came up here quite a ways. It's really just grass and beautiful field and great views. I can see the Bridger Mountains over there really clearly. There's a big storm that's pretty much coming right at me, I've decided at this point, because the blow off is coming up over the top of me. The storm is getting louder and I'm getting a little bit more concerned. Being out here in this field about 7,000 feet is not really my ideal place to be during a thunderstorm. So we're going to start heading back down the mountains here. I think if I follow these tracks that I'm on, they're pretty faint, but it looks like they just bring up some trucks occasionally to like pick up cows or look for cows or something like that. I'm pretty sure this is still public national forest land up here, but it's also very likely that it is not. So with that, I think we're going to start heading back down and see if we can make it to the van before this storm hits us, because this big girl might blow up when it hits the mountains because of the air currents and moisture involved. So I don't really want to risk myself and Winnie getting hit by lightning, rained on too hard, or any other various things. This could get bad pretty quick. So we're going to start heading back down and see if we can make camp before this storm does. Okay, we're almost back. Whoa, I just got side of the road. If you look down below me, there's the road there. We just got to get down to the road through this big burn area that we're in right now. You can see the storm hanging out behind me. She's a big girl, but she's not moving too fast. She's just slowly going this way. But that's fairly standard here. The storms will just try to get into the mountains. They'll form on the east side, and then they'll constantly be trying to get into this valley here. So you can kind of see, there's kind of how it goes up into the mountains there. Big mountains there, big mountains back over, big mountains there, all the way around. And that's the valley down in there. My van is right back in there behind those big trees there. So we just got to get down to the road. It's like some sort of bug, and walk our way down. So we're going to get started on that, and hopefully this hill is pretty solid. It's amazing how fast things start growing after a fire. There's flowers and some stuff pushing up. A lot of the fields, which undoubtedly burned, are perfectly green, almost undoubtedly burned. There will be like burned tree stumps and stuff, and grass all around it. So I'm assuming that the grass burned and that it's just grown back this year. But we're gonna walk down. It's a little treacherous, and then we'll see you at the bottom. What's up, dirty girl? It's hard to tell, but it's really steep. Not too steep for Winnie, but pretty slidey on the way down. Got something hooked. Winner, this way. Get beat up here. Looks like that tree fell over. Somebody helped it along a little bit too. So this will show you how steep it is. So here's another jump. Oh, that's a dirty shoe. Made it, Winnie. All right, made it back to the road. That's all I could ask for at this point. Just wanted to get back to the road. It's a quick 5-minute walk back to camp. I made it. I have a really dirty shoe. There's a lot of dirt inside of it. And my pants have some black ash, whatnot, from the carbonized trees. So we're gonna make the rest of the way back and see. I'm getting a little tired here, clearly, but we are going to make it down to the creek. I'm gonna get Winnie dunked. I might soak my feet, and then we'll go back to camp and weather these storms that are likely this evening. Seems like whenever the weather pattern follows this pattern, we end up with storms in the afternoon, evening, clearing up by about sunset. So we'll see if that's what happens. But for now, we're gonna go cool down in the creek and then move on from there. Yeah. Oh, that was close. Go. Go home. Let's go. Come on, let's go home. All right, so we made it back to the van. The storm looks like it's just getting its top chopped off and it's sliding over the top of us without really producing much precipitation or wind. We got a little bit of rain as we were coming back, but just like a few drops here and there. We got to cool down in the stream and made it back to the van. It was a pretty lengthy, short hike, and we're a little bit tired. I'm tired anyway, so I'm gonna get some water in me and some food, and then looks like I'm gonna end the video here. That adventure took the whole video. I wanted to show you a little bit more, but we're gonna stick with that, keep it nice and short this time, and we'll see you down the road.
Not saying anything, I saw it in your eyes. That look that's on your face, I read between the lines. I try to say it cause you hate it when I can't decide. So when you go, you need to know that I'll be right behind. Far away from here, I could be finding other reasons, but I need away from here, where we can finally make this time. I would give anything to know I'm on your mind. I try to say it 'cause you hate it when I can't decide. So when you go, you need to know that I'll be right behind. Far away from here, I could be finding other reasons, but I need away from here, where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. It's never too late, it's never too late. All the things you said for me to come home. It's never too late, it's never too late. All the things you said for me to come home. Far away from here, I could be finding other reasons, but I need away from here, where we can finally make it, you and I. Far away from here, I could be finding other reasons, but I need away from here, where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Where we can finally make it, you and I. Happens every summer. Things are moving slow, and time to unwind only gives me time to spend alone. And I can't help but wonder